What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, Jay's Takes. Today I'm going to be presenting my top 5 favorite games to play on the PlayStation Portal. So before I get into this list, I want to just make it clear that this list really isn't in any particular order. So don't really get too hung up on where I place the games on this ladder. It's pretty much just a list of 5 games that I played on the Portal that I like the experience for any given reason. So let's get right into it. Number 5 should come as no surprise to anybody who's been watching my channel recently. I'm gonna have to give that spot to Death Stranding. The reason I give it that spot is because, Death Stranding is kind of like a polarizing game. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. And at first I was on the side of, I really hated that game when it first came out. But once I got the Portal with the pick up and play nature of it, I could just hop on every 10 minutes or so and just kind of inch towards my delivery as I please. I think it kind of reinvented the game for me and kind of made me see it in a different light to the point where it's one of my favorite games of all time now. So if you played that game before and it just didn't stick with you, I highly recommend giving it another shot on the PlayStation Portal. You may like it, you may not, but that's why it's on the number 5 spot for me. Moving on from that, we're going to go into number 4, Dave the Diver. This is a low-key game for me. I did not expect to like it as much as I do, but it's a very chill, cozy game. It's not too crazy or hyper, which I think makes it super perfect for the Portal. Another thing about this game is I don't really want to play it on any other device than the PlayStation Portal. I know it's available on pretty much Xbox, PC, Nintendo Switch, but because the Portal has the full haptics in the trigger and on the actual device you get the whole DualSense features, it actually elevates the experience to the point where it's a lot more immersive playing on the Portal or PS5 controller than any other platform. So if this is your first time experiencing this game, or even your second time, I highly recommend playing it on the PlayStation Portal instead of anything else. And that is why it's on my number 4 spot. We're gonna move on to number 3, Astrobot. Of course, it's a game of the year. What more do I need to say about that? It's a really great game. I haven't played too much of it, but from what I can tell, it doesn't really lose too much of the experience going from the actual PlayStation to the PlayStation Portal. Like I said, same thing with Dave the Diver, you get the full PS5 haptics. So that is probably one of the biggest selling points of this game, aside from the actual gameplay. You literally feel every step of the Astrobot. You feel the zippers being pulled. You feel when you're pulling on something or holding something or hitting something. When you're in the water, things change. It's really great and something that, once again, you have to experience on the Portal. Number 2, I would have to give it to It Takes Two. Now, I know this is kind of like a couch co-op game, and this is a kind of weird one to put in this list in general, but in my personal experience when I was playing this game, I only had one controller, and I had no idea that you can actually use the Portal as a second controller. So when me and my girlfriend were playing that game, she would have the controller and I would have the PlayStation Portal. And it's like I had my own personal screen and controller right in front of me, which is really good because I'm kind of blind, so I couldn't even see the TV the way she could. But I feel like using the Portal as a second controller is a really sleeper way of actually using the device. And I could go into an honorable mention too, like Black Ops 6. If you're playing couch co-op zombies on split screen, you can actually use the Portal as a second controller and play some COD zombies like that the same way you can with It Takes Two. Just a W game all around, super good. Even better on the Portal, especially when you don't have a second controller. So that's why it's on my number 2 spot. And then our number 1 spot is gonna have to go to Elden Ring. I feel like this is such a game that you wouldn't expect to run on the Portal just because of the quote-unquote latency of remote playing games. And I'm not gonna lie and say that it's not there. It's definitely noticeable, but probably about 90% of my second playthrough of this game exclusively on the PlayStation Portal. I think it's really good to farm runes on here or just explore the map in general off the portal, you can definitely do boss fights. Not really too much of a disadvantage that you have when you're on the portal compared to on the console. I do still prefer, you know, doing the boss fights on my actual TV just because of the visuals of it. I get to stream it in I think the portal is like 1080p when you're playing, but on my 4K screen, I know it's not really like 4K, it's maybe like 1440 or whatever. It just looks better on my TV, to be honest. But yeah, I do like playing the boss fights on my TV and pretty much doing everything else in the game on the portal. So I think it's a really good device to use if you want to grind during your off hours or here and there, like 30 minutes. I think that is a really good way to play this game on the portal. And that's gonna pretty much wrap up my list of 5 games that I really liked playing on my PlayStation Portal. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions or want to share what games that you like playing on your portal, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you like this content, maybe you could check out my channel, see if you like those videos and consider subscribing. But that's going to be it for me, and peace.